So good evening, everyone. Very warm welcome to the course demo and placement journey webinar. So this webinar is hosted by Emertxe Information Technology, our organization. So primarily myself, Jai Kumar, and my colleague Mubin will be the host or the speakers for this webinar. So this particular webinar, we do it on a monthly basis. Unfortunately, last 2 months we are not able to, host this webinar. One was like in the month of November, I was having some health issues. Followed by the December, it became more of holidays, right? People are, in the Christmas, all those things. So the last webinar we did it in October. Now we are again resuming from the month of January, right? So this particular course, this particular webinar will take you through the entire journey of our course, how it is going to get delivered, and how it can be made effective, especially when you talk about online learning, that online and embedded learning. I think Ramesh is already typing a question, sir. Is online is as effective as offline, right? So especially how I'm going to get support, are the online students are getting placed enough, how I'm going to take care of the hardware. So we'll run through this entire set of questions. Okay. Again, let me tell you, my idea is not to run through the slides. My idea to ensure that we interact as much as we can, answer all your queries, so that by the end of the webinar, right, you all have the necessary information so that you take the right decision for the career. Okay. So we are not here to tell, do this or do that. You are the best person for taking the decision. You are the best judge for your future career, and I'm sure you will take the right decision. So our goal is to ensure that you are given the right set of information. So often what happens many times, we see a lot of rumors getting spread, or sometimes incorrect information are shared. Since we are in this employability and then working with a lot of companies over the past 18 plus years, we have the realistic perspective about what is happening in the industry. So that's the goal of this webinar. Okay. So this webinar is also getting recorded. After the webinar, we will share you the link where you can, in case you missed some section, you can look into it, or you feel that some of your friends, they wanted to join, could not join, whatever may be the reason, you can pass it on to them as well. So that's a simple protocol for the webinar. So let me start with a quick introduction. Many of you know Emertxe is a edtech company. We have been in this education business for more than 18 years now. At a high level, we are trying to solve two challenges or two problems, what we call. One, as you all know, we are solving the problem of employability. So India has become a country where it is generating lakhs of engineers every year. Even though all the engineers are having good amount of theoretical knowledge, they are good in their academics, right? When it comes to applied learning or the practical learning, there's a huge gap, right? And especially when you look into the core jobs, which we're going to talk about today: embedded systems, IoT, robotics, the electric vehicle, 5G networking. So all these domains require specific skills. So what we do as an organization, we take these engineers, enroll them into a paid course like embedded systems course or IoT course, and we provide them with a 6 months training program, and then we make them employable. The second challenge that we solve is what we call upskilling, because not necessary that the first job you get, people will be having the necessary satisfaction, right? People might have taken the first job, right, but that may not meet their aspiration. They want to grow more, right? So what those people do, they take the online course in an upskilling mode, and then they reposition the resume, right? Like let's say for example somebody is working in Java, right? They want to come back and work in embedded system, right? They kind of take this course, upskill their profile, reposition their resume, and then they position themselves as embedded engineers. So that way they achieve the career break, whatever they want to achieve. That's what we do as a problem statement. And three technologies: embedded, IoT, and full stack. Full stack we've been kind of paused due to pandemic and various other reasons. Shortly we'll be starting on that on that as well, right? So and you can see the image in the below in the same slide. There's a pot and the hand is making a pot. Very simple thing to understand. Where if I want to make a pot, what is shown in the picture, I need to make my hands dirty, right? So the learning has to be done in a hands-on way, so that you are experiencing the learning, not that you are memorizing or by hearting and then going and writing an exam. So the learning by doing is the only way where we can resolve the problem of skilling. That's the approach we take in our trainings. So that's about us. So coming to our team, our leadership team, three of us lead the organization as a part of the leadership team. Mr. Maaz is the founder and the managing director of the organization, who looks after the overall functioning of the company and also the business side of things. And myself, Jai Kumar, and I'm one of the directors and one part of the leadership team in Emertxe. I have more than 20 years of work experience. I graduated from NIT Warangal in the year 2001, and then subsequently I worked there for about 12 and a half years in 3 different companies. Started my career with a startup called Ishoni Networks. Worked there for about 2.5 years, and then we moved on to HP Hewlett Packard. I was there for about 7.5 years, and then I moved on to Huawei, where I spent about 3.5 years. So throughout these 12.5 years, I spent my time in the embedded systems, building various connectivity and networking embedded software for the router, for the telecom switches, for the consumer electronic devices like printers, etc. So that's what I did for the initial 12.5 years of my career. Then after that, I was really passionate about education. I always wanted to do something in this area, and also wanted to do as a part of a as my own venture, or as a part of an entrepreneurial mode, right? Not working for a big company. That's when I quit and became part of the leadership team in Emertxe. So I along with Mubin and Maz are the part of the leadership team where we drive the organization. So specific responsibility with respect to Emertxe, I handle placements. I have a team who work with the placement clients, also with our students in terms of selecting the shortlisting the students, coordinating the process, etc. Apart from that, I handle all these outbound activities like internships, webinars, etc. So that's what I do and my responsibility. I think Mubin is there in that call. Mubin?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mubin, please introduce yourself.
Sure. So good evening, everyone. Welcome to this webinar about embedded systems course. So my name is Mubin, and I work as a technology head at Emertxe. And I am a computer science graduate, and I'm having an experience of around 19 years. I worked in companies like Novell, HP before joining Emertxe as a technology head. So primarily, I have a team of technical mentors who deliver trainings in the courses which we offer, like embedded systems, IoT, and full stack web applications. So my responsibility is mainly to manage the technical team who deliver like quality training for freshers as well as team professionals who are interested to like build themselves in the courses like embedded system IoT, and we also help them to get placed in core. So this session, I will brief about the learning process which we'll be going. And if you have any technical queries related to the course delivery, feel free to ask. So it is.
Yeah, thanks for the introduction, Mubin. So this webinar is divided into 3 sections, I would say, folks in the call. The first section is we're going to talk about what is happening in the job market, right? And where are the jobs are coming from, and how the placements are happening in Emertxe, and how the students are getting benefited, right? And what type of offer they're getting, right? Just get a very high level perspective about placements, because as soon as you open the webinar, questions started pouring, right? I'm a 2022 graduate. I'm a 2023 graduate, or they say I have a backlog or I have a year gap. Right? We'll give you some recent success stories where we see categories, students belonging to your type of a profile or category becoming successful, right, by achieving the core job. So that will be the first section which I will cover. Then the second section, as Mubin mentioned, will cover about the course aspects, the technical aspects of the course, how the course is going to get delivered, how you are going to get supported, how you are going to basically use the hardware, etc. You are going to, Mubin will cover that section. Then the third section, again, I will come back and talk about the placement from the process point of view, right? How to apply for placements, and then what is the process and policies that we have with respect to placement. So that's a 3 section. And as I said, in every section end, we will stop and take questions, and then we'll answer all your questions. So we'll ensure that all your questions are answered by the end of the webinar. Okay. So let me move on and take up some of the things. As you all know, some of you would have already done some study about us. One of the most important thing in this segment is to have a good number of placement organizations to hire our trained students. Right. So we have been in this industry for more than 18 years now, where pretty much all the organizations working in the embedded systems domain recognize us by name. So you can see there recruiting companies wise. We have what I call big size big companies, which is you can again categorize them as an MNC, which is having a multinational presence like Qualcomm, NXP, Meta Graphics, Honeywell, Sharp, Harman, etc. And we also have Indian companies who are having a big presence. For example, Tech Mahindra, L&T, etc., who are hiring our students. Right? You might think that Tech Mahindra and L&T are kind of service companies. That is more of a business model, but they have a huge embedded verticals as well. So they also do hire our students. Right? So then apart from that, we have a lot of mid-sized companies, few hundreds of staff will be working there. Either they are outsourcing or getting their clients work, or they're doing indigenous product development. They hire from us. And then we have startups. As you all know, India has become a hub of startups. Of course, a lot of not so great news of late. Right? Some of the startups are going through some challenge. We'll talk about that as well. And good amount of startups here. So if you look at specifically startups, they all have these days work in the new work areas. For example, as I mentioned in the beginning, robotics, electric vehicle, etc. So we have all sizes of companies hiring. So this is just a snapshot of what the list of companies which are hiring our students, and the list is quite big and it keeps changing. So I have some version which I'm showing. Right. Okay. So now let us talk about what is happening in the job market. Okay. So whenever you are opening your news channel, right, whether it's a TV news or you're going and listening to print media, etc. Right. So there is a lot of thing happening about recession. How the jobs are jobs are going, etc. So even though there are many things are there, we just compile some information which makes sense for you. Okay? Because there are a lot of information which may not make sense for yourself, right? So we need to interpret the information the right way. Okay, so let us get some perspective about what is happening in the job market, especially from the recession. So at a high level, if you see, what is happening in the recession side or the job market side, I would say there are three things are happening. If you look at, for example, the startups, which I mentioned a few minutes back, they're going through a lot of challenging times where they're laying off people, right? Some of the companies you can see, right, they either closed their shops or, for all they're kind of, last as of 2022, about 22,000 people have been laid off by the startups, right? This again, it's all information in the public media, just furnishing with the reference so you can see that. Being 42 is one of the popular online medium which covers about startups. So definitely, there has been a lot of challenges because startups mainly built based on venture capital funds. They have the pressure to show profitability or go IPO. So because of those reasons, they need to trim their cost structure. So that is one major segment you can see, right? And if you look at on the going further extending this, if you see, the Indian service companies or the what you call an IT companies. So these IT companies, they're not. I've not heard about them laying off as such in a big way, like how we are hearing from the startups. But these IT service companies, we are seeing two things happening. One is whenever they're making the campus offer, right? As a 2022 grad from engineering college, when they would have had an offer, good number of companies are postponing the joining dates. You can see the couple of news cuttings from the media. They're delaying the onboarding, and people are getting furious. They're going and raising things in social media, making some kind of a frustration heard by the company, etc. Right? So, is there anyone in this webinar today who has been offered by an IT company and waiting for joining date? I will not read your name. Just wanted to know. Okay, we have some people saying yes. Okay, so that's about the situation of the service companies, right? So we saw two things, right? One is the startup, second thing is service companies. Now let us take a look into what is happening with respect to the core companies, or what you call companies which are working in the zone which we are operating, right? Companies like, for example, Samsung or Robert Bosch type of companies. You already saw them in our recruitment list, right? So these type of companies, I would say in the last few months, they're growing pretty well. Okay, as you can see, this particular news cutting saying that this uh, you know um, Samsung is going to hire 1,000 engineers, and Robert Bosch recently expanded their expanded their base into Hyderabad. They're opening up a new center there, etc. Right. So not only that, we also see some of the other bigger players are doing quite a bit of investment. For example, you can see here, there is this Collins Aerospace. This is a cutting I taken from Ministry of Higher Education and IT and BT, Dr. Ashwath Narayan, as a part of the government of Karnataka. Can see that the right side, his photo is there, right? Sorry, the letterhead is there, where he's inviting this particular Collins Aerospace to set up the shop, and then they're telling that they will do their level best to support the government and things like that, right? So that's what's happening in the core segment, where they're investing more. They're seeing more investment coming in, right? So first and foremost thing, all I wanted you to understand is recession is a too big topic to talk about. Okay? So always please interpret what it means to you, right? What it means to you and what it means to your friend, it may not be same. Okay? So here, when we're sharing this information, we are sharing from the information from the perspective that what recession means to a core job aspirant like you, right? Somebody want to get into embedded systems IoT, what does it mean? Okay? From the press release point of view, it is not sounding negative at all. You can see that, right? I'm not hearing any embedded systems companies where our clients are hiring people. In fact, I'll show you the statistics. They, they continue to hire. Okay, we are not seeing any slowdown happening in terms of hiring, right? We're still clocking the required number of placement every month. In fact, today's like kind of 18th of January, we already had, I think, 65, 70 companies which are already come. Okay, so that is the angle that you need to build. Having said that, yes, do we need to be cautious about the recession? Yes, we all need to. And recession is a great time to build skills so that you become employable and you become relevant, right? Because if the market is very good, then companies may not expect much. Even if you do decently well in the interview, they may select. But when you're during the recession time, your performance matters a lot, and the performance is directly proportional to the skill set that you're bringing to the table. So that way, there is no better time to invest in skill building, especially during the recession time. I'm telling both from media perspective and also based on my personal experience, right? I can definitely vouch recession is a great time to skill yourself, right? So this is what is happening with respect to the job market, right? Where the startups are laying off, the news is in public. These, say service companies, either they're delaying the joining date or their hiring projections have come down significantly. I saw one more news cutting this morning where the hiring has come down by 94%, right? They hired very few numbers. I want to show the numbers, but that's okay. It might sound a little negative, say that's what is happening. But on the contrary, as I said, the core is growing at a pretty good pace. You saw some of the newsletters, which news items you're seeing here, right? Okay. So now, as I said, always see it from the perspective that what it means to you. Okay. So what it means to you, if you look at the product companies or the, these type of, embedded systems type of companies, they invest for long term because they are type of companies who need both the hardware and software for them to launch their product. For example, I wanted to, let us say, I wanted to launch this remote control, right? It's a product. It's an independent remote control, right? So I need the hardware also. So I need to have the software also. So what this particular, companies do is, right, since they need to manufacture the hardware, generally their investment cycles are long. So they plan for a long term. Okay? They're not like a pure software company as you see in the other point, right? Software means what? I can turn it on and turn it off, right? I don't want the software to be sure I can turn it off. I can switch off. Today everything is in cloud, you all know, right? I can stop the service, then you will not get the service. But hardware-oriented products are not like that. You need to manufacture design the hardware, manufacturing the hardware, then the software development happens, then the design gets the software gets stabilized, then you go for mass production, then the product gets distributed and it is available in your retail store or an online store, right? I'm talking about simple example like a mobile phone or remote control, anything of that for that matter, right? So that way these companies invest for long term. Okay, so that way if you see even last year and all, when some of the startups world or some of the other companies, right, when they're hyped too much, right, they're going very high. For example, some of the salary numbers I heard was quite unrealistic for a very junior level people, right? The kind of salary that are drawing is totally unsustainable, right? So that is where they're facing the reality. But if you look at embedded systems companies, they will neither go too high nor they will fall too sharp. They are pretty stable, mainly because they're hardware based and they invest for a long term perspective. Okay, so that way we are not seeing that much of a risk, because of the recession. And how am I saying that, right? Not only based on the press release or whatever I shown you, that is anyways available in the public domain, but I am talking from the perspective of Emertxe, because as I said in the beginning, we from our team Emertxe, we deal with placement companies day in and day out, right? And these companies have always come back and asked, saying that even today, they're telling that they have more positions open, but they're not able to close. So they're looking for skilled engineers. Right? So overall, our placement story remains intact. I'll show the data shortly. Okay. So what I'm telling to broader set of embedded systems enthusiasts, aspirants like you people, or even for that matter, our students, the similar slide deck I shared with them in the month of November, I'm telling be optimistic, but be cautious. Okay. Sometimes what happens, this means we think that doomsday have come and then we all become very sad and we stop putting the effort. No, that's not what I'm saying. At the same time, I'm not telling go and do a party. Anyways, companies will hire you, right? There are so many jobs are there. No, I'm telling you, optimistic, but be cautious. Okay. So far, the story looks pretty good. So let me move on and show you guys the, placement drives that has been happening in Emertxe, because as I said, this is a data point based on which I'm saying. Okay. So if you look at 2022, year 2022, right, it has been phenomenal year. You can see the bars there, blue color ones, right, where every month we have 100 plus companies participating in placements for Emertxe, right? In that 100%, 40% on an average. In fact, November data when I say it becomes 60%, but let me be on a little conservative side. 40% of the companies are telling that you can be from any year of pass out, you can be from any, you can have any academic percentage, right? Or you can be from any branch. Okay, let me repeat. Suppose 100 companies are telling coming to Emertxe, 40 companies are telling, 40 and above companies are telling, saying that they don't care about year of pass out, they don't care about your branch, or they don't care about your year gap. All they care about is, are you bringing the right set of skills into the table? That is where the skilling becomes very, very important. And skilling is the only weapon that we have to fight against these type of challenges, right? So that way, it remains really good. You can see in the 2022, the blue color bars, 100 plus companies every month, right? And 2023, we are kind of middle of this month. We are already done 65 companies have come already, right? Okay, so definitely we are confident that it will cross 100 like last year. So this is the reason why I'm telling, right, nothing to panic as such. We are still seeing the momentum is quite strong as far as the core companies and the core companies recruitment is concerned, right? So this is another way to look at it. One is in terms of the number of companies visited, but as I said, just do a simple mathematics, right? Per day about 100 companies means per day I have 5 companies coming. So it becomes quite challenging or impossible for us to schedule 5 interviews on the same day. Right? It doesn't work, right? We need to see the students, then students will have the time class, they have the regular class, there are a lot of things, right? So we go and schedule those interviews. Right. So this is what this graph looks like. You can see here, the blue one is 2020, and then the red, sorry, 2019. Then you have the 2020, which is on the red. 2021, so 2022 on the green color, right? So those legends also shown in the bottom, and purple ones are 2023. So as you can see there, the momentum is being quite strong, especially if you look at the last year, the green colored towers which you are seeing, right? Those towers, the towers means the number of companies have come, number of interviews has happened was quite good. 65, that is a 62, 59, 64, and in the month of December, when we closed the year, in the month of December, we had 63 companies basically conducting the interviews for our students. Interviews are written test, right? And out of coming back to the 2023, as I said in my previous slide, we have 65 companies visiting us, and then in that 65 companies we have 33 companies have already completed the selection process. Either they conducted the written test, they conducted the technical interview, HR interview, or the offers are in progress, right? In the pipeline, it's all there. Okay. So this is a very realistic perspective, and if you go and check our past webinars also, this is one data which we keep on updating every month and share whatever it is, right? These things are 100% transparent, right? Whatever the data our placement team is having, that's what we are representing in terms of the graphs here. Okay. So 2 takeaways for you from here. Point number 1, do I need to be worried about a recession? Yeah. But should I get panic and then stop working? No. I'm telling, be optimistic, but be cautious. Point number 1. Point number 2, because of recession, are we seeing a major issue with respect to Emertxe placements? I say no. Okay. Yes, things are a little bit on cautious mode. Very few of our clients even put a hiring freeze and things like that. But that is only a very few. But if you see, the majority of them are still coming and recruiting. I just showed the January number. We already done, 60 plus companies have come, and we already, you can see in this particular gap, 30 plus drives have already happened. And third point, I said 2 points, right? One more point. Third point is 40% of these recruiting companies hire for any year of pass out on any branch or any CGP. So coming back to the point saying that I'm a 2020 pass out or 2018 pass out. So what I'm seeing, especially the older batch you become, you get more desperate because the success has not come to you. Probably you would have tried many things. When I say I'm a 2018 graduate, right? Probably I would have written GATE, I would have written some government examinations, or I would have prepared for the UPSC, but my success would not have come. So what this leads to, it leads to a lot of doubt on yourself. I always say in a webinar, right? The doubt is on your mind. From our minds, we are very clear because we talk in terms of data, and I'm just presenting one set of information to you. So you're very confident that irrespective of era pass out, percentage, branch, etc., you will be getting opportunities. Okay. But when you present as an opportunity, performing their interviews is your responsibility, right? For example, we can coach you. Imagine we are all preparing for a cricket match, right? We can coach you. We can send you to the ground, right? But who should score run? I think today the first New Zealand India, match is happening. I was watching for about half an hour back. I think Shubman Gill hit a century. Any idea what is the final score? Any cricket buffs here? Cricket fans? How much India score? I think they batted first, right? If you click check any cricket fans, doesn't go 349. Okay, good score. So I saw Pandya got out and Gill was batting. I think around 5:36 or something. Right after that, I had some other thing that I had to come to the webinar. Right. Anyways, the point I'm trying to say here is right. The growth story remains intact. Nothing to worry. Okay, you need to keep focusing on the skill building, and the success will come to you. Okay. Now, other extending this data further, right? Second question, sir, can you show me a success story? Right? Okay, we always do in a webinar, right? Let me show you this snapshot. It's not a entire data because if you show the entire data, your whole webinar will go with that. So let me show success stories, a snapshot of success stories under various categories. Okay, so let me show you. Give me 1 minute. Let me go off the screen and share my desktop and some data for you guys. So I'm going to show you people data in 4 or 5 categories, as you can see in the folder there. So the first folder is what we call final year stories. So what I mean by final year stories is that we have seen students who enroll for our embedded systems course in their final year itself. That means they're still studying their 8th semester or 7th semester for that matter. They have a lot of time because, as you know, in the end of the last year of the engineering, will be more of projects and not much coursework will be there, right? And good amount of autonomous colleges I know, right? They are basically give the complete freedom to the student. You do whatever you want. So what these gentlemen and ladies have done is they enroll for this course in the final year. So they utilize your 8th semester very well. So by the time our other batchmates, right, they completed, let's say June, July, then they search around and they come and join in August, right? These guys are probably joined in October last year. So by the time the batchmates came into the competition, they're far ahead of competition. That's why I saw some of you were 2023 in the call today already asked, right? I really appreciate because by the time you are May, June, your batchmates pass out and come, right? You will be far ahead in the competition, job competition, right? So these are the success stories. Let me run through a snapshot of these success stories. You put it in slide share, then more sharing mode. So we can see people like Sri Sai. He joined us when he said 2022. He joined during the college itself. So he got paid in the month of August with salary package of 7 lakhs from Continental. Many of you know Continental is one of the major automotive company. So as with people who are from final year, the Subhashish Panda is from Bhubaneswar. He also attended the course online. By the way, online or offline, there is absolutely no difference in terms of neither the course delivery or placements. In fact, companies who are recruiting also don't care, because still the major chunk of the recruiting process happens online, be it the written test, the interview, offer releasing, etc., etc. It still happens online only. So the interviewer don't know or they don't care whether you studied offline or online. Okay? So I would say our in terms of from Emertxe side, the effectiveness is same. In fact, I would recommend online for all of you because you will also end up saving a lot of cost. If people who want to say Bangaloreans are there, some of you are in the meeting now. One key challenge that in Bangalore is the cost of living. You're going to come as a student and still taking your parent support and all. You'll spend a lot as a bachelor for about 6 to 7 months, right? More than what you are going to assuming that you are going to take up a course from Emertxe, the fee that you pay, right, versus your accommodation expenses, if you see, right, the accommodation expense is much more than your fee expenses. Okay. On the contrary, if you look at online course, you can be wherever you are. You can learn, with a lot of flexibility, and effectiveness wise, it is absolutely same. You can see, right, students like Subhash are cracking, placements with company like Train Technologies. Then here another student, Jatin Wadhwani, one of the very popular guy. He used to ask a lot of questions in the webinar. He also joined in the final year and he got selected in Honeywell. And there is Navyashree, who joined placed electro-pneumatics and pneumatics company, 5.16 lakhs. And we have Sai Murari, Giri Boina, who got a job with LG. And we have Sriram, who got a job with Honeywell. So as Robin, right? We have Vishant Singh, who got a job with another automotive player called Aptiv. Then you have Nitin, who is from Tamil Nadu PhD Institute of Technology, College of Technology. He got a job with LG. And Simranjot Kaur, who is again a student from Punjab. If you see, right, very interesting observation here. If you look at Simran, she's an embedded systems course and she did a course offline. She came here and studied. On the contrary, if you see her classmate, right, from the same college, Robin Singh, he did the course online. Okay. In fact, online guy got more salary than the offline guy. So the point I'm trying to say is you don't need to worry about the online, will it be effective, etc., etc. And this is the examples of students who are getting job with that, just after the final year or just after the graduation. So this is one set of people. Then let me show another set of people who are freshers, means they completed their engineering and then they joined our course. And these students are typically either a 2022 pass out, 2021 pass out, or 2020 if you are. Anyway, that I moved to the new era pass out is going to come. So I still moved them to the older batch. So largely what I'm going to share here, they are from 2021 or 2022 pass out. Sorry, 2020 pass out. Okay. So 2023 just came, right? They're still attending, right? So let me put those students' story here. We have Naveen, who is again from Coimbatore Institute of Technology, engineering technology. Got a job again with LG. LG has been recruiting very heavily of late for a salary of 7.5 lakhs. I think Subhash I showed in the previous slide itself, so similar did. And we have Amaresh. He got a job with Continental, who is another player, and you can see he's an online student. And Najish, he got a job with RGBSI for a 6 lakhs package. In Vindhyashree, she got a job again from Continental, another, Continental, Vitesco, Aptiv, Robert Bosch. They're all working, value. They're all working automotive segment companies, right? Vitesco is another, sister concern of Continental, where Deepika got placed, and you can see she's an online student, right? So these are all the examples of students who are from the year of 2020 and 2021. Then there is one more category of students who are from the older batch. That is say 2019 and above, so 2020 and above, right? 19, 18, 17, 16, right? Again, these people come in two categories. One set of categories of the students are there who are already working, but they want to get into a better job. Yeah, I'm working company X now, but I'm not liking either it's IT service company or the technology that I'm working on is not something what I like. Okay, those type of people are there. Then second type of people we see, especially from the older batch people, is the people who are having a career break. So they're taking a career break due to many reasons, due to preparing for the government exam, anything like an UPSC, or they went for a GATE or CAT, they tried 2 times, 3 times, they did not get qualified, or even if they got qualified, they did not get a good college where they can pursue their post-graduation, right? And other very important segment of students whom I see, especially in form of our girl students who come across, they're the ones who need to take the career break because of the personal reasons. Either they get married, relocate to the place where the husband is working, they cannot continue their employment, right? Or that type of an employment opportunities are not present in the place where they go, right? Then another challenge that our girl students face is in terms of pregnancy, right? When they get kids, right, they need to support the family, they quit the job, and we have students, who have 2 kids, right? Probably like 5, 6 years, 7 years, they have some kind of a gap. So these type of year gap students are also there. So let me repeat. As far as the older batch students are concerned, there are 2 buckets. One bucket is what I call transition, where they're currently working, but they're not happy with their job. They move to an embedded company. This is category number 1. Category number 2 are the people, they're from the older batch, but they're not working. They have a career gap. or probably they worked for some years, they took a break. Okay. So in both the categories, success stories are there. So let me open up and show you the lateral batch success stories. Okay. You can see here the student, we have Satya Sai. He's a, he was working with TCS. I can see that at Tata Consulting Services, and he did our online course. Of course, you can't quit and come here. Good number of you could be there who are working professionals who want to transition into the core industry, and he was able to get placed with Qualcomm. The package of 28.75 lakhs. In case you are wondering where we are getting these numbers from, and Satya Sai is the guy who got the offer, right? And as I was telling you, the other category of the students are who have an year break. For example, Abhirami is a 2018 pass out girl, and she had almost like 3-4 years of career break. She initially worked for some few months, and there's a long, let us say 4 years or plus 3 years plus career break was there, right? So she was able to, again, she enrolled online, took a course with us, and then she got placed with NXP Semiconductors for 7.2 lakhs. And so as JS Sangili Raj, he's a 2020 batch, and he did the course online, and he was able to get a job with LG during the month of November. And then we have Harsharaj, sorry. So he was also working in an IT or a service company, and he was very passionate. So he quit his job and took our course online, and he recently got placed in Continental for a salary of 7 lakhs. Okay. And we have students like Monica Kokki, and she's from Vidya Nikaitan Engineering College, Andhra Pradesh. She's a 2020 grad, and recently she got placed with EFS. I forgot the full company name. Okay, for 8 lakh salary, right? So as Krishna Chaitanya, who is again a 2020 pass out student who got placed in Vitesco. Nirav Kapadia, I forgot his year of pass out, but he got placed in Western Digital. And similarly, Shushma recently she got placed in LG, right? So these are all the students who got placed in. They're from older batch. Some of the era pass out I mentioned, but even if I not mentioned, don't worry, they are from older batches. Then, interestingly, we started seeing a segment of students who come to us, who are from a non-circuit branch, right? They're not from electrical, electronics, control, instrumentation, etc., communication. So they come from branches like mechanical, production, etc. Even they are able to get placed. Okay. So let me show you a couple of success stories from the mechanical engineers. So you can see here. So this is the success story of somebody who is from a mechanical engineer. They become embedded systems. Okay. So what generally the myth that we all have when it comes to core jobs is core job means you should be from a circuit branch. Okay. But what is the reality? Branch doesn't matter. Only skill matters. Okay. And here is a classic example of a student called Arvindan. Arvindan is from mechanical engineering branch, and he was able to get placed with one of our placement companies called Chelsea Communications, where he started the salary of 11 lakhs. In fact, Arvindan's elder sister is also a student we placed in one of the core company, and she was inquiring about course, and then we opened up for all the branches about 1.5 years back. She herself was surprised. She asked me, "Sir, my brother is from mechanical, right? Will you be able to train and place them?" I said, "Yes. As long as he is regular, he's doing all the assignment and project, he will not have any problem." So that's what the results we see. And then some of the words from him. This is the picture all of you should understand, because in the beginning I started getting a lot of students saying that I'm having a year gap, I'm the older batch, I want to resume my career after a break, etc., etc. And you can see here this diagram. Your skills project and impressive resume requires more weightage than your branch year of pass out percentage or CGPA. So this is one way to look at it, right? Okay. So similarly, we even place students from a mechanical, right? We also place students from production engineering. Let us see who that person is. So, same thing. You can see right here we have student like Nitin. He's a production engineering kind of mechanical engineers offshoot, right? So we are able to place him in the LG company, right? So these are all the various success story guys. For example, we discussed the success story from different categories, right from the college, being in the college, right, and all the way up to them immediately finishing the engineering and trying to get into a job, or they spend some other job and then, like for example, case of Satisai, right, they work for a company and then achieve the transition, right. So career transition, career break, very much possible. Okay. In fact, initially there are questions I'm saying I'm 2017 pass out and 2019 pass out. Absolutely nothing to worry. And don't feel bad that I did not show any 2019 story, because I'm showing a snapshot. If you go and dig, I'll find ample amount of information. Okay. So in summary, I would like to conclude with few points, then we can take some questions. Okay. Point number one: recession is there or not? Yes, it is there. Okay. And we saw how the recession is affecting various sizes of the companies. We saw some challenges that startups are going through, some challenges that Indian services companies are going through, and we also saw that the picture looks much better in the core industry. And I also showed you how this is resulting into placement drives in Emertxe. In 2022, we had 100 plus companies hiring every month. That trend still continues in January 2023 also. We already had like 60 plus companies are hiring. Every day we have 4-5 companies coming and participating in the placements. Okay. So that's about the aspect of not to worry about year of pass out, etc., etc. Then the second part that we looked into was various success stories. For example, recent batch, old batch, career break, career transition, non-circuit branch, and all. Right? So the question that all of you should ask to yourself is, if these people can do it, why not me, or why not you? Okay. They did not come with, let's say, horns and some tail and things like that, right? They were very simple, humble guys who joined this particular course with the goal of getting into the core industry, and they achieved it. How did they achieve? They are very regular to the classes, which we'll talk about in the subsequent section as well. They completed all the assignments and projects provided by the mentors, and that's why they're able to improve the skill level. And once the skill level is improved, when the opportunities are presented to you, automatically success will come. There is no secret sauce, right? Our secret sauce is come daily, do your work. That's our secret sauce. Okay. I hope it has given a pretty good information about the placement. So I'm seeing a lot of questions come up. So let me take them and then probably move on to the next section with Mubin. Okay. So let me go back. I think a lot of questions are piling up. Let me start from some point from where we can start answering. And then I think Prajwal, I clarified about recession. What type of jobs are getting affected. Then we have Harshit sir. I'm learning PIC18 microcontroller. Can you suggest how to start with ARM microcontroller? Again, it's a too technical question, right? This webinar is not to answer that. It's more about a generic, awareness webinar. Okay. So if I start explaining that, it will become a technical workshop. Then we have another question from Hare Krishna Reddy. Sir, I have 2 back papers in BTech. I have appeared both exams. Very nice, no problem. So what we tell in Emertxe is, when you're applying for placements, don't carry a backlog, present backlog. If you have cleared the backlogs, you have the provisional degree certificate, then you can start applying for placements. Okay. See, these supplementary questions, why you had supplementary, why you did not clear, etc., it may come later during the management round of interview. You be honest, tell the answer, that should be fine. Okay. So because somebody had a supplementary, we are not seeing any sort of negative thing, but it's important that you clear. I think you already done that. Okay, please go ahead and appear for the exam and clear it as soon as possible and get the PDC. Because let me tell you, all the companies who are recruiting from Emertxe want you to join immediately. They can't wait. It's not like a campus recruitment, right? Campus recruitment, what happens? Typically, companies come to your campus at the 7th semester, for example, right? They make an offer, and then they complete the final year, and after that, you go and join them, right? In our case, it doesn't work like that. So companies come to us for a specific demand or a specific need, where once they make an offer to the student should join immediately. So which means to say what? You should not carry any backlogs. This is point number 1. Then 2 more questions will come. I'm sure it may come in the chat. I'm not able to see all of them. What if I'm a working professional? If the company says you join immediately, means I cannot leave my company just like that. There will be notice period, there will be some transition of work, etc., etc. Then only I can come. For working people who are having notice period, again, nothing to worry. Our placement team will take care of it. In terms of joining. Suppose you get an offer, we will negotiate, we'll work with you, we'll work with the companies, right? We negotiate with the recruiting companies. We ask you to go negotiate with the current employer, come to some common understanding so that you properly serve the notice period and get the relieving letter properly, and then go and join a new company. Because I'm stressing this because many students will think, right, they'll just, next day they don't go to the office. They don't have a clear closure, right? Don't be that. If we are ready to wait, companies will also respect that. Suppose you're moving from company A to company B, you will have to spend some time in your notice period. That is point number one. Second thing, we also have some students who are from 2023 batch. They're telling, sir, I will only join and I will only be graduating in the month of June, let us say 2023. What if my course gets before that? Can I apply immediately? Again, the answer is no. You should have your provisional degree certificate. So which means to say what? It's a scenario similar to our supplementary scenario where you appear for the final semester, clear all the papers, get a provisional degree certificate, then you start applying. Okay. So and what we tell our students is that we give 2 years of unlimited placement opportunities. For students who are having a backlog or students who are, for example, they're finally they're joining, we want to give them some benefits. So what we tell them is the 2-year window will start from the moment you are ready. The moment you clear all the supplementary or the moment you are getting your PDC, from then we'll make it into 2 years. But for others, they anyways don't have problem. They can start from the end of the course, right, to 2 years, give their placement support. Okay, hope that's clear. Back paper, Hare Krishna. Just confirm in the beginning whether it's okay. So this webinar is for embedded system. I'm interested in IoT. Is it okay for me? Amol is telling again. Amol, embedded systems and IoT are very well connected. We also run an IoT course. Okay, if we start explaining their differences, it's quite high. So please go to our YouTube, Emertxe YouTube channel, where my team has recorded a video, spoken by me, where I talk about the differences between IoT and embedded. I think it will be quite a long video, maybe some 10-12 minutes. Please watch it, you'll get an idea. But today's focus is on embedded systems only. Okay, hope that's clear. Then Hare Krishna is asking, do you have any problem to continue this course? No problem. As I already said, you can join, continue, but important that you can start applying for placements after you clear your supplementaries. Okay, hope that's clear. So CS Ramesh is telling, sir, is online or offline? Which mode is more effective? Okay, because let me just check. Because I am far from Bangalore. Okay, absolutely nothing to worry, Ramesh. As I said, I already shown you people who took online as well as offline courses. Right, there is no difference as far as Emertxe is concerned. Right, so even companies don't differentiate. It's all about you, how regular you are, how sincere. You can see, so many students. And they're not only, far, they're very far. Some students from Punjab, right? And some students from Maharashtra, some students from Madhya Pradesh, they all get placed. Studying from their house, right? So our online course, offline course, there's no effectiveness. But I told you guys another one that our online is more cost effective also. So please consider that fact. Okay? Hope that's clear, Ramesh. Then we have Chandra Teja is telling, I've done IoT internship through Emertxe. Is it different from this one? Like different project? Yes. See, we offer free online internship program that is targeted for college students when they wanted to do the internship as a part of their academic curriculum. So we offer them a 4 weeks of internship program. Please note that program is just to get you started, but here we are going to do for 6 months, right? So this will be much more extensive, much more in depth, and this comes with placement, commitment, whatever we're talking, right? But internship, we never tell placements. You come and learn, that's all. Here, it's not only coming and learning, you also need to get into placements. It's very different. Hope you're able to understand, Chandra Teja. Okay? So it's class timing, sir. I'll let you know because later, I'll show you the 3 modes of learning, typical timeline, how much time you need to spend, etc. in the next, next slide. Okay. There are a lot of questions coming. Okay. Okay. So Divesh Pandey, so many institute said they'll give 100% placement. What is the proof that you would take all the responsibility after complete the course or until you get a job? So Divesh, right, a nice way, right? It's telling, oh, how come you are dealing, right? So all I'm saying is we can only talk with the data. So the data is open. I'm just sharing a snapshot. So you can take a look into it and then you can decide. So I think Aditya Doifode is asking, I'm in 8th semester, now already placed in Hexaverse after. I think I should join Emertxe for 5 to 6 months course. I have many questions. Yes, that's what I said, right? Utilize your final year. So what happens is, this again, we keep telling to many students who got a campus offer, he's selling Hexaverse, somebody might have got a similar offer from Infosys, with any of the service companies, right? So what I tell to all the students who already have an offer is, if you are already interested in core, do the course in the final year itself. Okay. The moment you complete your engineering, anyway, these joining dates they'll give time, and these days it's getting postponed, right? So during that time itself, you can start applying and you can get placed. So you have one more offer in your hand from the core company before Hexaware gives you a joining date. We are having joining date problem, right? I showed in the initial set of slides. So that's a good way you can mitigate the challenge. Because what happens is, once you start working in a Hexaware, any services company, which is where our working professional belong to, it becomes quite challenging to manage our course as well as the job. It's not easy, because they need to dedicate the time for their office, because the manager will have expectations, and our mentors also will have expectations. They need to spend so much time every day, around 3 hours of 2 hours of class, 1 hour of lab. On top of it, there will be assignment commitments, right? They have to still, compared to that, if you have time in the 8th semester, utilize that. I showed you, right? There's a series of success stories, how they achieved it. You can achieve something similar to that. Hope Aditya clarifies. Okay. Abdul Razak is asking, sir, I'm from mechanical branch. Can I get a job in embedded? Yes, Abdul, I already showed you examples, right? Mechanical production. I think we even have people from manufacturing branch, right? Smart manufacturing, civil engineering, material science engineering. So we're able to place all the students. Again, as I repeatedly been telling from the beginning, companies are not coming to us for recruitment by looking into your branch or your CGPA or your area of pass. They come to us because we give them a specifically trained students like you, right, in the domain of embedded systems. So that way, the era pass out percentage branch takes a lower weightage. Your project assignments, your skill set takes a more weightage, and that's where they're able to crack such jobs. Hope that's clear. Then we have Durga Prasad. So let us say I have got an offer from got an offer after training. Can I have a chance to try for another offer? I have to quit with one offer, sir. Yeah, it's a very nice question. So in Emertxe placement policy, okay, you have only one offer policy. You can apply for many companies. In fact, students attending multiple interviews is very common. Okay, so you can attend many companies, but you can get only one offer. Suppose you're attending 3 companies, A, B, C, right? The company A given an offer, you need to join A. You cannot say, sir, I cleared off the round of B. Can I go and attend? No. The reason why we tell is 2. Again, there's a reason why we do all these things. Is 1, for the recruitment company, okay, we tell all our emerging students will join. They won't reject the offer. We don't allow offer rejections. This is one very important value that we give to hiring companies compared to any other campus. In campus, if you don't join, neither your TPO cares, nor you care, right? But the company will be worried. See, I made an offer, this guy did not join. But for us, our placement companies, we give a commitment that if you select 5 emerging students, all 5 will join. Okay. So every information will be made available to you. You can choose not to apply, but once you apply, you get selected, you need to join. Point number 1. Okay. That way, we are able to maintain. In fact, that's the reason why more than 80% of our placement companies are repeat recruiters. You may see our banner, right, calendar, right? They come and hire LG. LG has been hiring. Last 3-4 months, they have been hiring, continuously hiring, because we have this process in place. Point number 1, right? Second thing is, I don't want a scenario in Emertxe where one student goes with 2 job offer, 3 job offer, whereas another student doesn't go with any offer. We don't want a scenario. I want to say Aditya is there, Madhurya is there, Aditya, and Abdul Razak is there, right? I want all of you to go with one job. So what happens once you block with one offer, the opportunity will naturally get passed to the other student. Okay, hope it's clear, Durga Prasad. You can apply for as many companies as possible, but you can get only one offer. But you can choose whether you want to apply or not apply. That's completely your choice. Okay, no problem, no force. But once you apply, you get selected, you need to join. Hope it's clear. So when the batches are going to start this and next month, ask Satyam. Satyam, just wait for some time. In my subsequent slides, I have the January batch dates. February also, I don't have exact dates, but it will be similar. Like typically, we start in the last week of every month, right? Gautam is telling, please explain the course. I'll come to that, Gautam. Okay, Mubin will take that section. Sir, in our institute, embedded, we'll use C or C++, both, Ramesh, both the programming languages taught. Again, it will come in the technical section subsequently. Just wait for some time. Then you have Ayush Yadav. Sir, I'm 2022 batch pass out. In my college days, I have published 3 papers in IEEE and also have 2 patents based on embedded systems and IoT. Will these things help excel in my placements? Maybe, maybe not. Okay, because as I've been telling, if you've done some work like this, I really appreciate it. It talks about your passion, that you have something done and you have something to show. It will be an added advantage. Okay, but more than they will not select you based on that. Let me tell you that they will select you based on what you're going to learn here. Plus, it's like a, what do you call? I tell cake and cherry, right? What you're telling is cherry. It's nice to have, but cake is what they come here for. Okay? On the contrary, I have many students who don't have any of this paper kuch nahi kiya, engineering mein kuch nahi kiya, you don't have any of such things. But he only focused on the course. They came up with a very good, what do you call, packages, very good core compressor kind. Definitely, I'm sure this will be a plus point for you. But don't only bank on that. Bank on what you're going to study in the course. Hope that's clear, Arch. Glad to see, somebody with a patent and things like that. So Mohit is telling, sir, will you please name the companies who don't care about the academics? Oh, Mohit, I do that on a monthly basis, right? After we join, student joined it, we run something called monthly placements, monthly meeting, where we open up an Excel. I have one Excel sheet, right? If I run it down, then other people will get angry saying that, sir, is it a course meeting or a placement meeting, right? Okay. So we open monthly placement meeting, we open the sheet, go through every company, filter them, which company is asking ERA password, which company, we run all those things. So unfortunately, I'm not able to do that, mainly due to the time constraint, but every month we do that, to our existing students. For example, November, whichever company name, we had a meeting in December, right? December, what and all company came, I'm going to present it to the students in the month of January. There we open an Excel, apply all the filters and see how many companies came for, 40%. And say when we did this in the calculation in I think in November, more than 60% of the companies were not carrying for ERA password. 40, then we say, oh, 40 kind of, conservative number. It's more than that, right? So we do it in a monthly meeting, Mohit, but, given the time constraint, we'll not be able to do it in this meeting. Okay. Then there are some course queries about price or the cost of the course. So our counseling team would be the right people. In the end of the webinar, I'll show you their contact details. You can get in touch with them because they keep running some scholarship, discounts, etc. So they'll be the right people to talk to, right? And then the online versus offline course prices are different, and they'll be the right people to talk to. Okay. Then let me see whether we can see some more. How to apply for placement? We'll talk about that. Sir, can we explain about career path after becoming embedded software engineer? Prajwal, let me see if I can. We have slides for that also. As I said, we have quite a lot of things to cover today. Let me see whether we can do that. Okay. Then Aditya, I think EXA where my training will start last week, Jan, but I think I should join Emertxe. Can I handle both my internship as well as Emertxe classes? Yes, you need to put efforts. Nothing is impossible. You need to dedicate your time. Okay. Priyanka is telling, sir, can I get previous batch recording to learn fast as well as online classes of this course? See, Priyanka, don't rush it. Okay. Then what we can do, in day one, we can give all the videos, okay, and say, watch all the videos, right? That doesn't work like that. Okay. We understand, even though we give the content, you can only consume it at some place. Yes, I know you are hungry. Okay. I mean, hungry to get into a job, right? I cannot give you 100 kgs of rice and say, eat today, right? You cannot eat that much. So you can only consume what you can consume in a particular meal, right? The same way goes to our course also. Okay. Yes, all the section, the recorded videos will give you, but we will not give you upfront. Every class gets recorded and we will give it to you. Why? You eat every meal and then you become, you eat properly. Similarly, you consume your course properly. Because of desperation, every video, I want to get placed tomorrow, because what happens is, I tell the desperation levels are so high among our students, right? They want to get placed today, not today, yesterday, day before yesterday, right? It doesn't work like that. Skill building takes time. We are aware of it. Our mentors are aware of it. So please cooperate. Whatever pace our mentors are running, only when you study accordingly, only you'll get, right? So that way, I don't encourage giving all the videos upfront and, then it becomes a Udemy course. No, then what's the difference between us and them, right? So our approach is very different. Hope it's clear. Let me move on. Maybe a few more questions and then we'll move on to section 2. And then we have Tosha is asking, sir, I graduated in 2014, was working in a sales and supply chain field now. I want to transition to core EC field and I am moving to the US. Is it possible for me to get into embedded, right? Yes, it is possible. As I already told you, we place students as old as I think 2010 or a 2012 batch, right? We're able to place them. But please note, our placement will be India centric, because you are mentioning that you wanted to go to the US. We will give you placements, or placement clients. Our posting will be in India. Could be any of the cities: Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai. Yes, but transition wise, it's possible, Tosha. Okay, many students have achieved that. Then Saujanya, sorry, I joined late. I'm a 2012 MTech pass out and worked few years as assistant professor. After that, I had a break of 7 years. Now I want to get back. Can I make a career in Embedded? Of course, yes. I think I already clarified. 3 years, 7 years, right? Being in academia. In fact, in the online batches, I would say good number. At least my knowledge goes 20-30 assistant professors are doing our course, right? To get into the mainstream embedded industry, right? And some of them have already achieved it. Some of them are in the process of achieving it. Yes, it is possible. Okay. Then Saujanya. Then Satyam is asking, I joined this webinar late. Can I get a recorded? Yes, we will share you the recorded version to all of you. Give us some time. Maybe today webinar will be over. We'll take a few days. Edit this video a little bit and then we'll share it. We'll email you. We'll also put it in YouTube. Right? You can share it with your friends also. No problem. Pricing, I think a lot of questions about the fees. Lahari is asking, so how does the online classes go? Means, do we have any app for the classes? We'll come to that. Okay. Lahari, how the course is going to do that. Okay. Then Naresh is asking, as a ECU student, which is the major course that I should learn to get a job in course set, which is trending? Oh, I don't see, you should, Naresh, you should get into trending things, right? Focus on the basic things. Because everybody tells, I want to get into, IoT, machine learning, etc., etc. They don't expect that many things. They expect some foundation skills, learn one programming language, right? We are strongly recommend C. Be good in hardware, any one hardware programming, microcontroller programming. Be we do the OS concepts. That itself will be more than enough. But when I say this, you need to be hands-on, not studying in exam and theory, right? Completely hands-on. That is enough. Don't focus on fancy topics, right? That's not what companies expect. Okay. Then the first I should have my degree. I don't know what this question is not clear. When will you start the course? I'll tell the course date later. I think quite a lot of questions are there. I'm sorry. I think in the interest of time, what we'll do is we'll pause here. Okay? I know a lot of questions are there which I not answered. Harshit, Sammeta, Chiruhasini Sammeta, Harshita, right? All those guys' questions are there. What we'll do is we'll move on to the section 2 about the course. I'll just give a brief and then Mubin will take over from there. And then we'll come back. We'll come back and take the questions. As I said, there will be questions. We'll again go back and then ensure that all the questions are answered. Okay? Because the question and answer session getting little late, a little long otherwise, right? Okay. That's it from the placement point of view. Okay, I just quickly want to pause and check. Okay, how are you finding the webinar so far? What are the information shared about recession, jobs, core jobs, startups, service companies? What is happening in Emertxe? Is it giving you an idea? Can I get some responses? Is it giving you some clarity, hope, confidence, whatever you can call, right? Lahari, Saujanya, Prajwal, I'm seeing. Come on, I need some more responses. Mohit, Tosha. Then Joshua telling, I'm quite relieved that I still have hope since I'm from Circle branch. Yes, absolutely. Harshit is telling yes, Naresh is telling yes, sir. Great. Okay, thanks, guys. So let me move on to the second section. Quickly, I'll run a few slides, then I'll hand it over to Mubi for his, technical section of the. So we saw this data, and then we went into the success stories. We saw various categories. We saw, and then and then how they are able to achieve successes, which month and which company, what package, etc. We saw in various categories. So let us get on to the course. Okay. So what exactly we are trying to do here in this particular course? We are actually going to work on the skill building zone, where the students who are coming from a theoretical or non-hands-on background will get a hands-on experience, and then they transition themselves to a industry ready engineer. So that's what we do. And this course can be taken in 3 modes, whatever you can see in the thing. So one is what you call offline mode. Offline mode in the sense a physical classroom where students come to Bangalore. We have an office center in MG Road where the classrooms and labs will be held. They come here, they stay. If you're outstation candidate, they stay in hostel, and then they're from Bangalore and they travel to their home. They spend kind of a half day there. Okay? For 5 hours kind of a timeline they spend. That happens in the thing, right? That is more suitable for people who are available, right? Because if you're working professional, you may not be able to take time, or you may not be able to come to Bangalore, right? So that's where the online option comes into picture. The online is also having 2 options. One is what you call online regular or online day batch, where the classes happens in the daytime. Okay, any specific times we'll talk about it in the later slides, right? And then, especially for working professionals, or even students who are studying their engineering, right? They want to do along with their classes or academics. We run the evening class. So evening class, what happens is like 6 to 7, the lab sessions happen, and 7 to 9, like the same webinar time, the classes happen, and then throughout the day we'll get support in WhatsApp. We will talk about it. Okay, so that is where the target audience are, right? So this is more of a 3 options for you, but as I told in the beginning itself, as far as Emertxe is concerned, the delivery quality, the content, the placement support, everything will remain the same. And personally, I also recommended my favorite is to go online, because you can learn from your home or hostel, save good amount of money, but still to get the same benefit. Why not? Right? Let us try to optimize. No? Okay. So that's about it. Okay. So these courses are slightly, if you go into details, because some of you asked about timings, etc. I'll briefly touch upon, then I'll, next slide onwards, let Mubin take over. So these courses can be compared in various parameters: the duration of the course, total modules, daily routine, how much amount of time I have to spend. By the way, we work 6 days. It means 6 days there'll be classes and labs. And class timings, what is your weekly plan? Recorded videos will be given or not? What about hardware, right? And how is the placement support for 2 years? So these are all the parameters. So let us compare these 3 courses with respect to that. As I said, not a major difference. Oops. So you can see here, this is what you call as an offline course. Okay. So in the offline course, what happens? It's a 6 months course. There are 8 modules. Okay. As I said, you need to come to the physical classroom or a physical lab, where you need to spend around half day. So the classes will be held from 9:30, or even I think they pushed even further. Classes will start as early as 7:30 in the morning, and it extends till around evening times, right? And there's some slight change which I forgot of it. It starts as early as 7:30, right? 6 days a week. For the offline students, we will not be giving you the recorded sessions. Okay. For the online students, we'll give both for the online regular and evening students. Right? There'll be a portal, an LMS portal, which Mubin will show, where you can log in and then you can access all the recorded videos. Right? Hardware wise, we will be focusing on PIC and ARM based boards. Those boards are available in our center. What students do is they come, they check out the board, all the necessary cables and power supply, etc. will be put it as a part of the kit. They connect to the laptop, a desktop, work on it. While going home after the lab, they should return and go. That's the model we follow for the offline students. But for online students, we'll be using something called simulator. Right? You don't need to buy the boards. You will be running a simulator where you will be, running the same source code. In terms of effectiveness, it will remain the same. Okay? Whether you run it on a real hardware or on the simulator. Mubin will anyway show the demo. So the online, as I said, 2 modes are there. One is like online regular. Online regular is for 5-month course. One small difference between online and offline course is that in terms of module wise, online has got 1 module less. Because offline students will have 1 module called QT as an additional module. The reason why we kept is, in online, holding your attention for 5-6 months is quite hard. If you add QT, it will get further longer. That's the reason why we kept 1 module less there. But again, don't worry about effectiveness or placement. It's not going to make much difference there. How does it look? 2 hours of classes, then labs for 3 days, and 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. support. Classes will be from 9:30, 11:30, 2 o'clock again. But for online students, we will give the recorded classes, and the placement support anyways remain the same. Okay. Similarly, they have the online evening course. You can see there. Here we have, this classes are happening. It's same as online regular, Only difference is timings are fixed, and you can see that it happens in a the lab will happen on a daily basis, and also the class timings will be from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. So these are all the differences, but in terms of the content delivery as well as the effectiveness of placements, all the courses have got. That's why I showed you see the success story, right? You'll see all permutation combination. Older batch online, recent batch offline, older batch offline, right? Mechanical online, a working professional online, right? All permutation combination you see, right? You have success story. So it does not matter, it's something I'm telling. Go to a particular destination. I want to go to Delhi. You take 3 routes. Ultimately, we all reach Delhi. Same thing. These are 3 different routes. No route is better than other one. But personally, I prefer online due to some, I said, right, the financial or whatever, the economics works out better for you people. Okay, because I know, every money saved is money earned, right? And that's the whole idea. Okay. So that's a brief about the course. For subsequent details, I would request Mubin to take over. Mubin.
Yeah, sure, Jay. I'm logged in as admin, not a problem.
Oh, sure. So let me go off the video. Maybe I'll, after your technical session, I'll come back on the placements. Okay.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah. Let me unshare. Maybe you can proceed.
All right. Jay, I think you have to make me a presenter.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I can access it.
Okay, sure.
All right. So as Jaykumar highlighted the details about the different course options available. So what I will do is I will walk you through the different basically deliverables as part of the course. So if you look at our course, it's quite an immersive course, and our goal is to help you guys understand embedded systems from scratch. So many people ask this question, I don't have a background in embedded systems, can I join the course? Yes. So you don't need any background. Only thing is we expect is that you have an engineering background. So as part of the course, you will be learning many subjects, and we make sure that even if you don't have the background, you will be learning from scratch. So each subject comprises of different components. So every day you will have class as well as a lab session. So class and lab will be live sessions. These are not recorded sessions for online option. If it is like offline, you will be coming to our office in MG Road, and you'll be taking up the class and lab sessions. Whereas in case of online, all the sessions are live. Plus, you will also get recorded sessions after the class and lab gets over. So every day you will have class wherein each topic is explained in detail by an expert mentor for that specific subject, and mentor will explain the topic using a hands-on and practical approach. It's not like we have a separate theory sessions. Whatever we teach will be taught using examples which you can practice during the class session itself. Now, once the concepts are explained, it's very important that you're able to apply those concepts by doing assignments. So in the lab session, the lab mentors will explain different assignments, mostly related to the subject like programming subjects or microcontrollatory subjects, etc. So the assignments will be explained, and you'll have to work on those assignments during the lab session or on your own time. So if it is online batches, the lab sessions will comprise of assignment explanation as well as project explanation. So Once assignments or projects are explained, you can continue to work on the assignments on your own. So idea of giving assignment is that whatever concepts you learn, you are able to apply the concepts practically, right? So it's important that you are able to apply those concepts practically, because when you get a job, you will get much more complex projects. So it's important that you have at least a background on how to get started with embedded systems related projects. So in every module, we have plenty of assignments to do, and those assignments will be reviewed by the lab mentors or automatically graded, and you'll also get a feedback immediately for some of the assignments. For example, for the C programming module, which is one of the biggest modules, we have around 50 assignments to do. Similarly, for every module, you'll have to work on projects, kind of mini projects. So we recommend you to do like at least 2 projects per core module. So at the end of like 4 modules, you should be able to do 8 projects. So idea of doing project is that you get familiar with the concepts at a broader level. You are able to apply the concept, whatever you learned in the subject, and you are able to showcase your knowledge to the interviewers. So later on, when you attend the interviews, you can show that yes, these projects I have done and have enough understanding of the concept which you have learned as part of the course. So more the projects, the higher the recognition will be for companies. So companies will recognize you, and accordingly they will be maybe offering you as well many a time. So apart from assignments and project, which will help you to build your logical skills and problem solving skills, we'll also assign you tests. So there is something called as objective test and module test. Subjective test will comprise of multiple choice questions or filling the blank choice questions. This will test your conceptual knowledge. So idea of basically giving objective tests is that when you take up these tests, you'll get confidence in terms of how much understanding you have about your subjective skills. And plus, when you attend interviews, most of the companies will conduct first round as test, right? You might have attended already placements from your campus or laterals. So mostly they will have one round of test, which is going to be a screening test, and the screening test they will ask questions based upon like C programming or maybe microcontrollers, etc. So these objective tests will help you prepare for the interviews. Similarly, at the end of the module, we conduct module test. So module test will evaluate you thoroughly as to what all concepts has been taught in the class. It will comprise of like objective, subjective, and programming questions. So overall, your module comprises of class, lab, which are live, assignments, project, which you have to work offline, as well as objective and module test. So now the question comes like, let's say you're getting stuck somewhere, right? So during assignments, you may get stuck, or during projects, you get stuck. So how can you get support? So in case of offline batches, yes, when you come here, you can directly ask the questions during the class or lab sessions. Whereas in case of online, only thing is the interaction mode is not face-to-face. Interaction mode is through live meetings. So what you can do is during the class and lab sessions, feel free to ask, like unmute, and or you can post in the chat box your doubts. So you will get immediate response from the mentors. Other way to get support is that we also create something called as WhatsApp groups. For every batch, we create a WhatsApp group, and whatever queries you have, you can feel free to post in the WhatsApp group. So mentors will be there who are ready to answer any of your queries. You don't have to be shy. And other students also who are part of the batch will also respond to your queries. So we recommend social learning, that is like peer-to-peer basically support, as well as support from the mentors. So apart from that, during the lab, we have dedicated like doubt clearing sessions. Every day you can ask your doubts, clarify your doubts related to your tasks. We also have something called as a discussion forum in learning in our LMS. So LMS, I'll walk you through after some time. We have something called as a learning management system, wherein all the resources related to the course, including slides, assignments, and recorded videos for online batches. We also have something called as a quiz or test are available, and any other supporting material will be uploaded to learning management system, which you can access throughout the course. Now, when it comes to placements, we give extra like uh, preparation. We conduct extra preparation activities. For example, we conduct mock interviews. So mock interviews are conducted by our mentors so that before you face the actual interview, you get the confidence, right? So sometimes many of you might not have attended any interviews, or you may want to technically evaluate yourself in terms of where you stand. So our mentors will ask questions based upon what is commonly asked in real interviews. So mock interviews will help you to test your knowledge, as well as you also get feedback in terms of which areas you need to improve. For example, some of them might be technically good, but they're not good in terms of maybe communication, right? So such inputs will be shared, and you can improvise on those feedback. Similarly, we will share company specific questions. So what we do is we have a huge database of questions, entry questions, which has been previously posted by all other tribes. So we maintain a huge repository of entry questions. So this will help you to prepare before you attend the interviews. Third thing is we also conduct something called preparation test so that you are ready for a specific company. So apart from that, we do conduct interview prep sessions like for important topics and frequently asked questions. We conduct something called as interview prep sessions. So these prep sessions will help you to like brush up your important concepts. Maybe some of the concepts you might have forgotten. So we just make sure that you are familiar with those concepts and you can focus on those questions so that you can easily clear the interviews. Similarly, we also have dedicated WhatsApp group for each company, which I'll show you after some time. So for every placement drive, which a placement company which visits our campus, we create a dedicated WhatsApp group, and we make sure that all communication between the company and the students happen in that group. We also have a dedicated placement team who are responsible for bringing in companies as well as helping you get a job in terms of facilitating you for applying for the job as well as clarifying any placement related doubts. So apart from the technical team and placement team, we have a dedicated student success team whose responsibility is to support you in non-technical areas. For example, some of them are finding difficulty in certain topics or they need any additional support, etc. So student success coach will get in touch with you and you can have a personal conversation with them and see how we can get additional support apart from whatever we already do. So they'll be monitoring your individual performance, including attendance, assignments, etc. And accordingly, they will be giving feedback. So that's basically it from the overview of what activities you'll be doing as part of the course and what you can expect apart from basically the regular course activities like placement related preparation activities will be there, and support you can expect in through multiple channels, like during class and live sessions you can ask doubts, as well as offline. For example, you can post queries in WhatsApp group as well as discussion forum. Okay, so that's a whole summary of what a student journey will look like. Now, at times people have difficulty in choosing whether you want to attend online or offline course. So our recommendation for basically working professionals, if there are many working professionals in this webinar, there is only one choice, I would say. Like you'll have to take up the evening batch, which happens between 7 to 9. Class will happen between 7 to 9, and the lab sessions will be from 6 to 6:50. Now, for non-working basically people like students, for example, if you are interested like you to go for online course, so we recommend you go for online course because we have a lot of flexibility. So join the regular batch. So you don't have to join the evening batch, you can join the regular batch. So we are talking about freshers who are passed out from engineering, right? So it's better for them to join the regular course which happens during regular timings. Now if there are people who are like still pursuing the course, like they are in 2023 going to get passed out from 2023 or 2023 onwards, they can also join the evening batch. Whereas those who are passed out, we recommend to join the regular batches which are available in offline and online mode. Online mode will be better because you get recorded sessions as well, and you can, at the comfort of your home, you can attend the classes. So with respect to online, so people ask how is the delivery, right? So I'll share some two recordings of how the classes are delivered in the online mode, so you can have a look at it. One is for the C programming module, and another one is for the microcontroller module, wherein we also demonstrate how the simulator is used in the online mode. Let me share the C programming video first, which is a class session, and after that I'll show you the microcontroller demo video, which uses the simulator and the MPLAB ID to deliver the microcontroller course.
These are the total memory allocated. Now, after an array has been declared, maybe I want to give the values into the array, because just the array's declaration will have garbage value. Assume I take int array of size 5. Okay, there has to be 20 bytes of memory allocated. Assume this is the 20 bytes of memory allocated for the array. So I'm storing 5 integers. So each integer takes how many bytes? Each integer takes how many bytes? Correct. So each integer takes 4 bytes. So if the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? If the starting address of the array is 1000, where will be the next element present? Assume this is 1000. Where will be the next element present? Yes. Each of the element uses 4 bytes. So it is 1004, then 1008, 1012, 1016. To access the array's element, you have to go with something called as the index number. An index number varies between 0 to size -1. So very first element will be in index 0, second element will be in index 1, third element will be in index 2, fourth element will be in index 3, and fifth element will be in index 4. Okay. If you just declare the array like this, the array's element will have garbage value by default. So in order to not have a garbage value present inside the memory block, maybe I want certain values to made sit inside it. In such cases, I have to do the array's initialization. To initialize the array, here inside the curly braces, I have to give 5 elements: 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. In that case, that value will be written here. That will be 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. Okay, this is how I declare the array. This is how I do the initialization, and this is how the memory for the array will be allocated. Accessing happens with respect to the index number varying between 0 to size -1. See here, data type, name, size, where size represents the number of elements. So the total memory occupied by the arrays, number of elements multiplied by size of an element. That is in turn size into size of the data type. If this is the array I'm going to take of 5 size with the values 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, this will be the array. So the very starting address of the array always is called as the base address of the array. This address 1000 will always be called as the base address of the array, or you can also call it as starting address or address of the very first element of the array. All of them means the same, but we usually refer it as base address. Okay, you can call it as base address or you can call it as the starting address, or you also can call it as the address of first element. Okay, the starting address is called as the base address or starting address or address of the first element of the array. So then it is plus 4, plus 8, plus 12, plus 16. Index has to vary between 0 to size minus 1. So it has to be starting from 0. An array is a collection of similar data type. Elements occupy consecutive memory locations. First element will be in the lowest address and last element will be in the highest address. Elements are indexed from 0 to size minus 1. So if the size of the array is 5, index will vary from 0 to 4. Accessing out of the range array elements would be an illegal access. So whenever you have to access the elements of the array, you have to go with the name of the array, then the index number. Okay, so array of 0, array of 1, like this, you have to go with the index number. So if the index number varies between 0 to 4, I can access only between array of 0 to array of 4. Out of the boundary, that is accessing array of minus 1 or accessing array of 5 is not allowed. It is an illegal access where you might get to see a error. So accessing out of the range array elements would be illegal access. You should not access the elements in array of minus 1 and array of size. And once the memory for the array is allocated, it can never be altered in the runtime. That is, while executing the program, the array size can never be modified. So if you declare an array like this, it will be 20 bytes of memory allocated for sure. So this size can never be altered throughout the program. Again, here in double denum of size 6, there will be 48 continuous bytes already allocated. You never get a chance to increase or decrease the size once it has been allocated. So this is the concept of array. Clear this much? Okay. So have this one noted. The next we will see is how to print the elements of the array. Okay. So there are different ways of printing the array's element, which we will be seeing shortly. Before that, have this one noted. So the next we have got is to print the array's element. So when you are supposed to print the array's element, we usually go with the name of the array and the index number. But that has to be done on a repetitive manner. So what is it necessary to be used? What is it necessary to be used if I have to print? Yes, loop is definitely necessary. So I can print the array's element in any of a loop considered. Observe. Okay. So first I try printing it in a for loop. Int array of size 5. I also do the initialization with 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. I need another integer variable I for the sake of index. So I will first say it as printf arrays elements are. Okay. So I run a for loop for I is equal to 0, I less than 5 and I plus plus, because 5 is the size of the array. Inside this, I go with the printf. Sorry. Yeah, so printf %d \n comma array's name with index. Okay, so first Array of 0 will be printed when I will have a 0 taken, then array of 1, then array of 2, array of 3, array of 4. When I becomes 5, 5 lesser than 5 will be condition false. You come out of the for loop. Observe the output here. So I'm compiling and executing. These are the arrays element which I am printing using a for loop. Let me change this.
So this was a demonstration of how a topic like arrays has been covered. So we are not shared the complete details. It's just a snippet of the online classes. And now let me demonstrate how microcontroller based topic is delivered in the online mode. So here you can see the usage of the online usage of the ID and the simulator. Let me play it.
This conference will now be recorded.
Hello everyone. In today's class, let's see how we can write an embedded program to toggle the LEDs connected to the board bit. So now to write the embedded program, we are going to use the tool MPLAB XID. So you can see here. So this is the MPLAB XID. If you open this, you will see this as a starting page. So some projects are mentioned here, data sheet is available here. Even if you worked on some recent project, that list is available. See, and even you will get the microchip login. So if you have a login ID password, you do the login, and you can do the purchase on a microchip website, right? Okay, so now let me go back to the question. So question was, we wanted to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. So now here in this MPLAB ID, you can see these are the different tools available. So we can use these tools as per the requirement. For example, this is to create a new file. It's to create a new project. It is to open the project. This option is to do the build. You can see different many options are there. So as per the need, what we will do, we will take an approach. Whatever we need it, we will start using those things. Now here in this MPLAB XID, I already created a project and kept it ready. So project name is what? LEDs. So in this project, I created. So when this project is created, this MPLAB XID create some organized sections. You can see here. So now to write this program, to write the embedded code, we need a main.c. So generally .c files goes here in the source file sections, header files goes here, make file will go here, linker script will go to this section. Or if you need any libraries, if you are planning to add any libraries, then those goes into this section, and finally this is the place for your executable file. So let me go to the main.c. So you can double click and open the main.c in the editor window. So now you can see I'm defining two micros. So instead of using port D directly, so what I did, since if you see the hardware, on the hardware, so you are having total 16 LEDs. So this is the PiximLab simulator board. So it's having total 16 LEDs. So currently we are going to toggle LEDs connected to the port D. These are the these are the 8 LEDs out of 16. So these 8 LED array we are going to toggle. Toggling means on off we are going to do. So now since I'm having 8 LEDs, I'm defining the micro LED array as a port D, and to give the direction to the port pins, there is a register trace D. I'm defining that with name LED array data direction register. Now you can see here comes my main. So here I'm calling init config function. So this function is to do the initialization. So what we are doing, so in main itself, we are not doing initialization. It doesn't look good. So there is a separate dedicated function to do the initialization. It is init config. So control will go here and here in this init config. So initially what we are doing, if we are using LED, we need to set the pin direction as output. So I'm writing my LED array data direction register as a 0. It will set port D pin as the output, and to start with initially I will keep all LEDs connected to the port D as a off. So to turn off the LED, I need to load 0. So I'm writing here 0. So LEDs remain off, fine. And here comes our while one. So if you see any embedded system, once you turn on the embedded system, it runs forever, right? It goes into infinite loop. So here comes my infinite loop while one. So inside this while one, we are going to write our application. So what is our application? We wanted to toggle the LED. So here is my instruction to toggle the LED. So I'm writing LED array equal to tilt of LED array. So what it will do? It will toggle the values of this LED array. If it is 0, it will make it 1. If it is 1, it will make it 0. So now you can see. So this is what 0x00. So after execution of this instruction, this LED array value becomes 0xFF. So entire port becomes 0xFF. All port bits become 1. So all LED turn on. LEDs are going to be turned on. And here what I'm doing. So before going to this instruction once again, I'm putting the delay. So if this delay is not there, what happens? We will not be able to see the LED toggling. So it will happen at very faster rate. Due to the persistence of vision, we will not be able to capture it. So I added the delay. Then after this delay, what happened? Next time, since we are in the while one, control will go back here. So again, we are changing the LED array value from what? FF to 0. So now what happened? LED become off, then again delay. So like this way, we are making LEDs on, LEDs off. Fine. Now. So we have to build the code. We have to compile the code. How we can do? So here in this mplab xid, I install x8 compiler. So that's why this header file is also included related to the compiler. So now how you can do the build? So you can see here is one option to do the build. So let me click on that. It will start doing build. My project is getting a build. Now you can see build is going on. So it will take some time. Please wait. Now see, build is successful. That means your hex file is created, and even it will give you the memory summary of your project. So now my hex file is created and it is loaded also. Now what we can do? So we can load that hex file where in this board. So we can run that hex file here in this microcontroller. So this is the heart of this board. So basically here we are using PIC16F877A microcontroller. So we are going to load the hex file here. How? So you can go to the file, you can select the load hex. You have to navigate wherever your project is stored. So let me navigate. So now, just for the sake of simplicity, I kept the project on the desktop. So let me select that. Now again, you have to go to the distribute directory. So basically, you have to use this path. After build successful, it is prompting the path where X file is available. I'm just referring that. Then you have to go to the default production. Here is the X file. Let me open. Okay, expected output is what? These LEDs should toggle, but it's not happening. Why? Because these DIP switch related settings are not done. So to turn on the LEDs connected to the port D, this DIP switch, second one, you have to pull this switch up. So let me do that. So it's down. You have to pull it up. So let me select. Now you can see the change here. So what this program is doing, it's running in this microcontroller and it is toggling the LEDs. And even we are able to see that toggling very clearly, right? Okay, so this is our program, our embedded code to toggle the LEDs connected to the port D. Fine.
All right, so that was a small demonstration of how the topic like blinking an LED can be taken using the simulator. So please note in terms of using real hardware versus using a desktop-based simulator, the knowledge that you gain by practically using the board or knowledge which you gain by using the simulator, there is not much difference. In fact, you can do more things because there is something called as spare parts available in the simulator. You can add new interfaces easily, and you can do much more better projects using the simulator. So as such, you will not find much of a difference because the same program which you work on the real hardware and the same program which you run it on the simulator will be working exactly the same without much difference. So now what I'll do is I'll walk you through the learning management system, which is nothing but an online learning portal, which will be given to all the students who take up our course. So only difference is the offline students will not get the recorded sessions, whereas online students will be getting the recorded sessions. So I'll share my screen. You can have a look at the learning management system which we provide. So let me share my desktop. Just a second. So typically when a student joins our course, you will get access to the LMS. So this is how the LMS portal looks like. So when you log in, you can see which all courses you have enrolled for. So as part of embedded system course, you will be learning about different subjects including Linux systems, C programming, C++, data structures, Linux internals, microcontroller programming, and so on. So whichever modules you have enrolled to, you can also see the progress of completion in terms of what is your progress, etc. So let me navigate to one of the course like Linux systems. If you navigate to Linux systems module, you can see different sections there. So we grade a student based upon several categories, like attendance is monitored, graded. Then there is something called as discussion forum, wherein every student can ask doubts. Let me click on this discussion forum. So if you look at the discussion forum, you can see students are asking queries and somebody is answering it. So this is like a discussion forum or support forum wherein you can post your queries and there will be somebody monitoring the forum and people will respond to your queries as well. Right? So this is one channel for asking doubts. So apart from discussion forum, as I told you, can also post questions in WhatsApp group. So in the LMS, for every module is nothing but a subject, you'll find resources related to that specific subject. For example, you can see slides. You click on this, it will open up the materials which is shared to you. For example, PPT, right? So there will be a detailed presentation slide available with respect to whichever topic you are learning, right? So these materials will be accessible once you basically enroll for the course. So apart from slides, you'll also find assignments. So these assignments will be given to you once the topics are completed. For example, if you look at this specific assignment, you can see that description is given for that specific assignment. You have to generate a pattern, etc. And this particular student has already submitted the assignment, and like you can see, the assignment is submitted and he has basically cleared the assignment. Okay, 4 tests are run and 4 tests passed. So if you are used any online platform like Lead Code or HackerRank, you'll find that you can submit the code and it will automatically give feedback whether the program is correct or not. So we have a similar mechanism which is called as virtual programming lab, and this is available in our LMS exclusively, and you can submit your assignments and you can also check whether the program is correct without even the mentor telling you that it's right or wrong, right? So you get immediate feedback. So this is kind of an advantage you get if you enroll for our course. So apart from assignments, we will have access to other resources like assignments document. We'll also get access to course recordings. You can see class recordings are available, installation session is there, introduction topics are there. So every class is recorded and every lab is recorded, and you will get access to the recordings in the LMS. You can see lab sessions are also recorded here, right? And apart from all that, you can also see like reference books and so on. So this is like for every subject you get resources as well. Okay, so you can also see which students are currently logged into the course and so on. So this is advanced C module. Look at advanced C module. You can see that we have like activities including assignments, attendance, discussion forums, quizzes are available. If you click on quizzes, you can see, right? So this like quiz, this particular students already taken the quiz, like how many quizzes they have taken, the score for each quiz, etc. is accessible. Okay, so you will also get a similar interface wherein you can see what is your score in assignments, what is your score in attendance, and so on, and assignments, etc. For example, if you look at this, right, assignments grade is also shown, right? How much did you score for every assignment, right? So that's about the learning management system. So apart from learning management system, we also have WhatsApp group created for every batch. Maybe I'll just show you how it is going to look like. Give me a second. So let me share my screen once again. All right. So this is my basically WhatsApp login. So you can see there are multiple groups created. So first I'll show you like one of the groups which is like created for recent batches. So it's called ECP, stand for Embedded Systems Emertxe Certified Embedded Professional course. So here students you can see are posting doubts, right? So there's a C program given. What is the output for this? Somebody is asking a query. So it's like 8. Sometime back they asked this question. In fact, they're attending the class. So students can post their questions in the group, and there will be somebody like you can see, right? They are posting questions. What is the output? Why is it different? So you can see people are asking. So WhatsApp group will be created, and you can interact with the mentors as well as students, so that you can continue with your task. Similarly, we also create company-specific groups. For example, if I search LG, right? So LG has visited so many times. You can see, right? So many groups I have for different placement companies, right? So recently, for example, we had Drive in LG. So you can see like messages are flowing, right? Congratulations, the students got placed. You can also see like people are sharing the questions which are asked in interview, right? You can prepare accordingly what they asked, right? Somebody is posting questions. They will basically share their questions after the interview, and you can also see like interview schedule, right? So you can see, for example, so all these folks will have the interview tomorrow between 9 to 10. So we have a very basically dedicated placement team who will send each and every communication to you via this WhatsApp group, so that you can be very much prepared for the interviews, and the progress of the interviews are also shared in the WhatsApp group. So like this for every company. This is LG. I can show you other companies also. For example, recently we had a drive, Luxsoft, right? So you can see people are getting congratulation messages, questions are shared, and so on. So just wanted to inform you that we have a very good support team, be it placements, be it technical, basically interviews, etc. So our technical team as well as placement team will support you to help you get placed sooner. We also have like so many alumni groups also, right? You can see what's happening in the alumni groups after they get placed. So that's it from my side with respect to how the course is delivered online, and about LMS, how the learning management system looks like, and how we offer support using the WhatsApp groups, be it your regular classes or it could be also be placement related support. So over to you, Vijay. You can ask questions. We are there to answer your questions.
So thank you, Mubin. Folks, it's quite detailed presentation that Mubin did. The entire ecosystem of the modules, right? How it is getting delivered, what are the support? Basically, three type of support: technical side support, then the student success support, then placement support. How every team will work with you and ensure that you achieve the result of getting into placements. And other queries in terms of the online learning, is it effective? How do we learn hardware, right? Those aspects also you showed it as a part of the demo, right? I think there are quickly couple of questions we'll take. I know it's like we are just crossing 9 o'clock. I have the last session to present about placements. It's not very detailed. We already discussed a lot about placements. I'll just share a few points about the process point of the placements. There are a couple of questions we'll see. Unmesh is asking, will this course be useful if I'm applying for master's universities in the USA in the near future? Yes, definitely, Unmesh. Not only that, if you do this course from our side, hope we'll be doing the course well. We'll also be providing you with the letter of recommendation, which will help you in land in a TA or an RA when you go to these universities. We do have many students who have taken a similar path. They've taken their masters from various countries in US. For example, various UC, University of California, Riverside, Texas Austin, Colorado University, Boulder. Then you have Singapore, Nanyang University. Then German, I don't remember the university's name. So tons of people who have taken the course, benefited, and they're gone there. I don't know whether you are there in the YouTube. Just go and look out for testimonials. There are a few students who've gone abroad and they've given testimonials, right? It helped in their master. So the skill that you're going to learn definitely will be helpful for your masters, even to get a job there. In fact, some of the students even refer us, right? After when they attend the interview in Canada or US, they give our number. We do get call from abroad as well, to give you references. So definitely it'd be helpful. You can see some success stories already in our YouTube videos as well, right? Hope Unmesh that's clear. So Satyam is asking, so what if you don't have experience certificate of previous employer? Oh, hit and run case maybe. Okay, you not got a proper living. So we recommend that you get it because companies do ask for it, and we also recommend for working professionals when they want to resign and join a new core company. We want to ensure that you get a proper relieving, right? I suggest you go back and try to get it. That's what I say. But if it's not there, what we can do, right? Go back and request your previous manager. Okay? Durga Prasad is asking, is there any limited number of attempts to watch recordings? No. Recordings you can watch as many times as you want. There is no restrictions, right? That's what it is. Then Joshua is asking, will this course help me for a PLC SCADA automation jobs? Mubin, there's a question.
Yeah, Joshua, I think you're specifically looking for PLC automation. So our courses are not related to PLC and SCADA automation. In fact, people who already are working in the PLC domain, they are interested to join core companies. They take up this course and switch to a core embedded job. So we don't provide any training in PLC SCADA.
Okay. Let me see, maybe one more question, we'll take it. So what is the percentage of placements for each batch? Ask Saujini. I think that's a very interesting question. Moving, you've done some analysis. Maybe you can share your insights.
Yeah, so typically, as you know, we provide placements after completing 2 modules like C programming and data structures, so C program microcontrollers, and we start the placements in the like 4th month. So over a period of time, I would say majority of the students who have attended the class and followed our basically guidelines, I would say whoever has basically attended the class, they have got placed in the last 1 year. Now 2022 batch, I would say still they are doing the course. So we don't have an update as to the percentage count, but I would say easily 90% of the students who are regular to the classes and have done the assignments and worked on the projects, they get placed.
Sure. So, Jimmy, hope that
Only
answers the
thing we
question.
request is like you should be dedicated. It's not that you join the course and just like that placement happens. So it's a 6 months course. So but whoever attends this course for a 6 months and does the assignments and project, there is no reason they will not get a job. That's our
So
guarantee.
basically,
We do
so what
guarantee that.
what movie is telling is, New Year comes, we all make a resolution. Somebody said, I want to lose a weight, I bought a treadmill, right? You buying a treadmill will not help you to lose weight. You need to run every day, right? Same thing it is. When you join the course, you need to work on it, as mentors are telling. But what Moveen's point is, if you do whatever mentors are telling, definitely, it's guaranteed, okay, 100%. All right, I think we'll move to the last leg, Moveen.
A lot of questions are there. I think you people can get in touch with the student counseling team. We know that it's late already, but we might not have answered some of the questions, but most of the questions we have answered. But don't worry, you can get in touch with the student counseling team. They will respond to you because everybody's questions is different, and some of them we answered, some of them we could not answer because of time limitations.
Okay, I think we'll get back to my section. Then possibly towards the end, probably we can take some questions. Moveen, can you unshare?
Okay, I think change present. I'll do.
Yeah. So welcome back, guys, for the placement topic. As I said, we took a very high-level view of placements in the beginning. What are the job market is and where are the opportunities are coming in, how our students are getting placed. We show some snapshot, right? Then we completely switch to the part 2 of the presentation where Mubin took us to the complete technical delivery support part of it. Now, again, coming back to the placements, we'll talk a bit about the process, right? How does the process works? So basically, as Mubin mentioned, once you're done with the core modules, basically the C and data structures module, there'll be a placement eligibility test will be conducted. And upon you successfully clearing, plus certain additional criteria, which probably we'll discuss in some other discussion, like into complete, be regular, etc. So you can start applying for placements, right? So all of you will be made as a part of the Google group. I'll just show you in my other screen. So the job intimation will be provided there, and then you can look into the job criteria, and you can start applying for the jobs. Then it will reach us. We'll do the internal filtering, and then subsequently share it with the companies. And companies also might basically apply some other criteria and then do some shortlisting. Then you go through the process of written test, interviews, etc. Then the offer comes through, and then you go and join. So here 2 scenarios are there. Let me explain. It's very simple. One is like, what if I get placed before the course, right? Let us say after the 4th month your placements gets opened up and you've been doing well, and let us say in the 5th month itself you get placed, right? And you have 2 months of course were pending, right? Let us say last 3 modules are pending, which is a good scenario. Okay, so what happens is all the students who are getting placed before the course gets over, as I said, the companies would expect you to join immediately, except the notice period cases which you need to handle in case of working professionals. So once you join the company immediately, automatically you will get an opportunity through us to continue the same course in the online evening mode. If you're already in the online evening mode, that's great, right? You can continue your batch. But if you're in a physical classroom, offline batch or online day batch, you can switch to online evening batch, an appropriate batch. Let's say you completed 4 modules, 3 modules you can come in the evening. Okay? Again, there is no charge or anything like that. You are our student. Will ensure that you complete. So that's why you complete the course and go for certification. I'll talk about it, right? Then there is one more scenario where I completed the course, let us say, okay, and I attended, let us say, 5 interviews, 10 interviews through Emertxe. What about me, right? Second scenario. So that's where we talk about 2 years placement support from the time of you completing the course. Suppose, let us say, you start in January, you get placed in May, well and good, switch in the evening, pending modules are completed. Let us say you complete your course in June, right? So from June 2023 to June 2025, you'll get unlimited placement opportunities, right? You can apply to as many companies as you want, but as I already clarified, you need to join whichever company gives you the offer. So that way, you can continue to sharpen your skills, work on the material given by the mentors, and then keep applying for placements until you get placed. That's a two-year window we talk about. So those two are the scenario. So let me quickly show you how our Google Groups looks. Anyway, the backend execution moving already shown in terms of WhatsApp group. So this is our Google group, fairly simple. All of you will be added once you enroll for our courses. So here, entire information will be shared. You can see, right, per day how many applications are getting floated. When we say, right, probably I'm little lagging, right? I did not add a few numbers. Whatever I showed in January in the beginning, I think we would have crossed that number, because as I was preparing for the webinar, the applications were getting floated from the placement team. It would have definitely gone up already. As you can see there, every day, applications come where we, let us say, for example, you talk about, let us say, a company called, which company will take, let's say, we'll talk about Crest Aerospace, for example, right? So if you click this, the entire data will be given. What is the company is doing, which module you should have completed, if you're an ECIP, CP student, right? Which year of password, what is the salary, what is the, if there is any bond or any work preferences, application URL, everything will be very clearly mentioned here. Okay, so that way you can check for these data, and then you can very well start applying, and then you can see whoever got shortlisted, and then the backend team gets into the picture whenever there is a discussions are happening, the supports, questions getting shared, materials getting shared. Suppose somebody attended the interview in the morning, they share the materials, right, etc., so they can help their friends. You can see, right, the entire action happens here, and the same data is what we generally tend to publish in social media as well. But social media takes some time, because we are pretty tied up with the operations. Our social media team or website team takes the data and then publishes them on a regular basis, which probably you are already following us. If not, I'll share you the links, you can follow. So this is how the placement process works, where you can apply until you get placed. You can keep on applying for the companies, right? Then some other thing we already discussed: 2 years of placement support. Only one job offer you can choose, right? Whichever company comes first, you should take. I think we discussed about the year graph, notice period, all the points we have discussed. Now, one more point which I wanted to show is in terms of the NSDC certification, right? As you all know, Emertxe is an affiliated institution with Skill India. Skill India is an initiative by Government of India, central government. When the government was formed in the year 2014, under the new Prime Minister, they formed a Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The entire skill development were brought under that umbrella. So, which means to say that our course, both our embedded course and IoT course, is aligned with the Skill India curriculum. So once you complete the course, please note, you need to complete the course, then only you can apply for the certification. The panel from Skill India will assess you, and then they will, upon you successfully clearing, you will get the certification, right? Let me quickly show you the certificate. Should be there. You can see here. This is Skill India certification. This is a level 5 certification. The levels, basically level 1, etc., starts with the with the diploma, ITI. It goes all the way up to very senior technical professional level. So we are at level 5, where you can see that there's a central government logo, and then all the necessary authentication information is there. On top of it, we'll also add our institution name and seal, and we'll be shipping it as per the norms. We should not be giving the soft copy of this, we should be giving the hard copy. So we'll be taking the printout, sign it, seal it, and then laminate it and ship it to your home. So our team will take care of this. Time to time we conduct the assessment. Currently we have initiated the and then this assessment process also will happen online, and we plan it on a Saturday. because by then most of you will be working. They will not be able to come here to the institute or work on a weekday. It will become quite challenging. So we plan it on a weekend only. Okay, Saturday only you can attend you need to keep probably one day for that, or at least till 3 o'clock. Morning there will be a test and afternoon there will be a Viva OC. So as long as you course and also you have basically participate in the assessment, you should clear that. So this is one additional advantage of having a Government of India certification. Okay. And then kind of we are closing the webinar. We're coming to the last slides now. So people ask me about the dates. So here are the dates. So the offline course, it's starting next week. That is 24th of January. And the online regular is starting on 27th January. And then the online evening is starting on 2nd of February, right? So typically we start batches on the last week of every month. So here and there dates will change, but pretty much you can consider after 20th we start a batch, right? Every month we start at least 3 batches. Sometimes the IoT batches also get added up, right? So that's how the dates are lined up, and in the website the dates get updated, and the email ID and the phone number of our counseling team is given below. You can get in touch with them. Many people ask me about the fees, etc. You can do that. We will take few questions now, and then we'll answer that as well. So let me check few questions here. Okay. So Aditya is asking a question. I am placed Q3. I am placed for 4 LPA. From Emertxe, I get 4.8 LPA, but my aim is for more than LPA. Can I apply for more company from Emertxe? See, I think Aditya I already clarified. Okay. Whatever may be the CTC, you can always get one offer from us. We don't have a multiple job offer concept. If you're very particular that you want to get only more than 5 lakh job offer through us, you only apply for those companies. Okay. But suppose let us say you apply for a 4.5, you get an offer, you have to go. I already clarified, right? We don't have the concept of job rejection because we commit 100% joining rate to the clients, and we want to give equal opportunity for all the students. Okay. Hope that clear. We already clarified, right? Okay. So Ramesh is asking a question here, which microcontroller you're going to do? It's a PIC-based microcontroller, Ramesh. Mubin has already demonstrated the simulator, or if you come physically, we'll be teaching using a PIC board. Okay. So Neeraj is asking, so I already registered for the course in the evening batch or online mode. When should I expect to start the course? Right? As I said, Neeraj, we have time. The official kickstart date for the online evening courses is 2nd February. We still, I think you are registered quite well in advance. Our team will get in touch with you and share you the induction class details on 2nd February. Mostly I'll be taking the induction class at the same time. You can join that. So once the induction class gets over, then your regular, classes will get started. Okay. Wait for some time. We will let you, our team will share you more details. Okay. So I think again, many of you are talking about the, fees. Please get in touch with our counseling team, Joshua and Gokul. And there's a question from Naveen Mani is asking batch size. See, batch size, Naveen, we are not, we are very particular that we do give good amount of individual attention to our students. Okay, so we don't pack it with, let's say, 100 people and all in a batch. We definitely do that. We don't do that. So for our offline batch, we keep them, batch size maximum up to 45. Sometimes, in worst case scenario, some people will push. I think some friends will say, no, we want admission same day. In some cases, we consider we maximum go up to 40-50, and that's what our room also can capacity, right? The physical rooms become on SC and MG road. The similar approach is what we take in online also. So that's, you can say, 40-50 is a ballpark, here and there a little bit, but we don't go more than that. Okay? We understand. Then it becomes like webinar. No? Webinar is like Janta, right? You can even have, this room can accommodate 1,000 people. No, that's not the way we run classes. It will be highly engaging, so we cannot go beyond that. So our ratio, you can say ballpark, one mentor 50, I think. And in case of lab, we even deploy more mentors. Sometimes, 2 or 3 lab mentors get deployed to support you guys well. Hope that's clear, right? Then we have Chiruhasini Sammeta is asking, sir, I'm 6th and 2024 pass out. Am I eligible for embedded course present or later I should apply? See, so you are eligible. You can any day apply. Anybody can apply. Even, as I said, right, even somebody non-engineering can apply. No problem. Anybody can do this course. But with respect to placement, Chiruhasini, I think I suggest you wait for some time, because this is ideal for people who are going to pass out in the year 2023. They're the campus, because they'll be in the final sem. taken, for example, June, July, they'll be out, right? For them, they can take it up. Still, you have one more year. I said you wait for one more sem, then you take up the course. Okay, because you'll forget otherwise. You do our course, then you wait for 6 to 8 months. Then only you can apply. By then you'll forget things. Okay, that would be the suggestion from my end. Okay. Satyam is asking, so when batch is starting next month, I want to apply accordingly. I'm from Maharashtra. No problem. As I said, Satyam, here and there dates will differ. Last week of every month is where you can do that. But if you specifically wanted to know in February when the batches are going to start, please talk to our counselors. They will be able to give you specific dates. But more or less, वो तीसरा चौथा हफ्ता हो जाता batch. Okay. Yogesh is asking, sir, I joined late 60% in 12th mandatory for placement. Not necessarily. Okay. Few companies mandate, but as I told, I think from the beginning I've been beating the same trumpet, right? Your academic criteria, your year of pass out, your branch doesn't matter. What skilling you are going to do in Emertxe is not going to matter. Okay. I don't think you need to worry about it, Yogesh. So I think notes PDF shared. Gokul, I think Mubin showed you LMS. I don't know whether you saw that. The entire material is there in the learning management system. Okay. So Lipika is telling, sir, is there any kind of placement opportunity difference between online, regular, and evening classes? No. Okay. It's everything is same in terms of the placement opportunity. There's no differentiation. But yes, if somebody is having a previous work experience and the company is willing to consider, they may fit them into next level or a senior level position. They may offer more salary. Again, that is from the company side. From our side, we are committed the same, whether you're online, offline, online, regular, online, evening, everything remain the same with respect to placements. Okay, Aditya is asking one last question. What should I prefer, IoT or embedded? Oh, you're asking which one? I read right eye or left eye, right? So I would suggest, both the courses are extremely good. Both of them provide very good placements. But considering where the future is heading to, where it is getting connected cloud and things are going more towards the cloud side, I suggest having additional IoT skill set will help you, because placement companies also same. For example, having Python skill set, some idea about cloud integration, which we teach in our IoT course, will be helpful. Okay, so skill set wise, I suggest go for IoT. Placement wise, both of them are same. Hope that's clear, Aditya. Learning from simulator board online, won't it affect hands-on microcontroller when placed? No, it won't affect. Preetham, I think Movin has already clarified. There won't be any difference with respect to your learning. Okay, absolutely no issue. Okay. So Prajwal is telling, sir, I am from 2023 batch. Can I submit provisional graduation certificate or original graduation certificate for the placement drive? Because college provide original certificate bit late, but they provide provisional certificate early. See, we don't need anything, Prajwal. Okay, you come and tell us you completed your engineering, we are fine. All I am bothered about is what the companies will ask, right? And they also don't ask originals. What they will do with the originals, right? You need to just show original, keep it, right? As long as you have provisional certificate, more than enough, no problem. Okay, provisional certificate. Some college will say degree or exam completion certificate, something which says you're done with your BTech. You don't have any backlog. Any document, good enough. You don't need to wait for the final degree, etc. The provisional degree certificate is absolutely fine. Then we have Siva Rudra. I'm a 2019 graduate, EEE, working on IT company. Now want to transition my career into embedded systems. Will my present work experience will be considered anyway? I think Siva, I just answered a few minutes back. Yes, companies do consider previous experience. Okay, it depends on the company. Some companies won't, but we don't force. We are the people, right? We are facilitating the process. For example, I was showing an example of Sai, right, who got placed from TCS, right? He got placed at 28.5 or some. That's like a higher band. So they considered his previous experience. They hired at a one level above. Okay, if it happens, well and good. Okay. Sir, if it is possible to join April month, Selva Kumar. Selva, you are welcome anytime. As I said, every month the batch happens, right? You decide. Okay, okay. Which way you want to join. Okay, I think fairly we answered all questions. Some we might have missed. It's already 9:30. I would request, please get in touch with our counseling team, and then we'll take it forward. Okay. So that's pretty much what we have, and then we have this what do you call? One minute. All right. So this is the Enrollment, Preeti is asking. Preeti, again, get in touch with our counseling team. They will be the people to guide you. Fees is asking Gokul, right? Please check with them. They are the right people. Help you to enrollment, fees, scholarship, discount, etc. Okay. And last but not the least, these are all our coordinates. We are in LinkedIn and Instagram. We are quite active. Are you already following us in any of these platforms, guys? Any of the social media? Yes, no. If yes, where are you following us? Okay, Siva. Okay. Oh wow, good number of them are following us. Happy. I'll pass the message to my team. I think they're also trying to bring in more relevant content for you people. Great. Follow both YouTube. Very nice. In case if you are not, please do follow us at Emertxe IT is the handle. You can just search in LinkedIn and this thing Instagram. And by the way, we also run. By the way, we run two type of webinars. So one is like what is this one? This is more of a course demo webinar where we specifically talk about course placements. Apart from that, we also run something called masterclass webinars, right? So masterclass webinars focus on. We had to complete our first season, I think, from the month of July or August, where we had series of talks about latest technology. We had somebody talk about electric vehicle, edge computing, Linux, open source, etc. But now we are starting our second season of masterclass webinar coming Saturday. So Mubin and the set of mentors will be there. This time our mentors will be the presenters, where they'll be talking about various preparation related workshops. For example, coming Saturday, they're going to talk about how to get started with competitive programming. Okay, so you can check it out in our Instagram. Please do register. They're absolutely free of cost. It will be really worth the learning. And we also run some quiz, and for winners will get some goodies and things like that, right? So looking forward to see good number of you in the coming weekend. We're going to start the season 2 with competitive programming. How do we prepare for competitive programming, coding related rounds and all. Mubin and team is going to take that session. Okay, so that's about. So the reason why I'm telling is, if you subscribe to our, follow us in these channels, you will get to know those notifications as well. Do we get, Preeti is asking, so do we get any direct email to enroll, or do we need to contact our team? See, Preeti, our team should have already have your contact details, because we don't spam people, right? We only send to invitation to webinar whom we already have a contact. So that way they should be able to reaching out to you. If not, please ping our team as well. Just say that any one of the counselors will get in touch with you. Generally, after webinar, they give a follow-up call. They do that, but from your side, just send a message or an email. They will be more than happy to assist you. Both the ways it works. Okay, so that's it, guys. Finally, I would like to conclude the webinar by saying welcome to this world of possibilities, what embedded systems can do. I think we covered a very broad topics, starting from recession to placements, right? I sincerely hope this webinar helped all of you to get a better clarity. But one final point I always say in every webinar, right? You can even go and check in our YouTube videos past webinar, is that this webinar is not something where we are giving some prescription. Do this. No. This webinar is to give you necessary information. Who is the authority? Who is the decision maker? It is you, because it's going to be about your career, right? What me and Mubin's responsibility, okay, our responsibility to give you the facts, data points. You see, right? Everywhere we show proof, data points, and speak, right? To give you that information so that you are having the necessary clarity in your mind and take the right decision for your career. I'm not telling that, oh, all of you please join our course tomorrow. No, that's not the goal, right? Our idea is to present the facts, data, and you are the best decision maker. I sincerely hope this particular webinar has helped you. Can I get some quick feedback? How was the webinar? Gokul is telling, thank you very much, sir. Can I get some more feedback? Did this webinar give you better clarity in terms of core jobs, our course? Please also note, right, we didn't only talk about our course. We spoke broad topics, recession, jobs, where it's getting, how to interpret the word called recession, right? So Durga Prasad is telling, loved it. Then Gokul is telling, very useful. Thank you so much, says Mohit. It was insightful. Thank you, says Preeti. Haji is telling, good. Then very nice, says Satyam. Thanks a lot. Got a lot of clarity and hope, says Saujanya. masterclass session cleared many things, says Aditya. Then I understand about the course, says Rajesh. It was really nice, a lot of doubts clear, says Neeraj. Very useful for me, says Joshua. Thank you very much for this information. You replied all the questions. That's great, sir. Thank you so much for clarifying that, says Prajwal. Welcome, Prajwal. So you gave confidence, says Karthik. Oh, great, great. Okay. So thank you very much, all of you. I know typically it slips by another 30 minutes. 9:30 is my deadline, or rather, I have my what do you call estimation. 2.5 hours it takes. You know, right? Its idea is not to run through slides. We ensure that make it as interactive as possible. Okay. So on behalf of Emertxe, I want to thank all of you for joining this session. I want to thank my team who has been working the back end, sending you emails and setting up this webinar. Our entire, webinar team. I want to thank them. And I want to thank all of you for being patient. It's not easy to sit for 2.5 hours on a Wednesday and listen to all these things. So whatever decision you make, okay, I'm sure it will be the right decision. I wish you all the best for your career. Okay, and in case you are joining our course, I'll see you guys in the induction class. Take care. Bye.